So let's take a couple of minutes here and take a look at how we can go about making our feedback loops. So what's the purpose of making a feedback loop? What we're attempting to do here is we're attempting to lay out a story of homeostasis. How does the stress cause a disruption, and how do we go about getting back to homeostasis? We're going to develop this in an attempt to present an organization of ideas. Now, we're not going to present stuff linearly, meaning that step one leads to step two, leads to step three, leads to step four, and we're not going to present stuff in a circle. A lot of times we'll look at feedback loops being presented in the textbooks, and they're presented as this linear progression within the processes or as a circle taking place. The keys that we have to remember when we're building our feedback loops, in particular when we're building our flowchart diagrams, is that the pointed arrow is the indication of cause and effect leading to excitation or leading to more of the process. Whereas the blunted arrow is the indication of cause and effect leading to less response or an inhibition taking place. There's two ways that we can go about telling our story of feedback. When we're attempting to present this in a conversational manner, we want to think about this as trying to tell a children's story or as a fairy tale-like story, a once upon a time something happened story. You can think of this like we talked about in terms of homeostasis being baby bear, like the Goldilocks stories where we want to have everything being just right. Or you can think about this as being like the Three Little Pigs style story where we have a disruption, a big bad wolf, which is going to cause us to go from the straw to the twig to the brick house in order to overcome that stress. So, example, once upon a time, there was a triathlete that was trying to improve his ocean/open water swimming. But because he lived inland, away from a lake or an ocean, he had to swim in a special saltwater pool. But every time he was in the saltwater pool, he would start cramping after just 15 minutes of swimming. He knew he had to swim hard for at least 1 hour of training to be competitive. So he devised a pacing strategy that would let him swim further each day. First, he got to 20 minutes, then he got to 30 minutes, but he was still cramping and had to stop. So he started working with the athletic trainer, and they devised a hydration plan for him to offset fluid loss during the swim. When he combined the pacing strategy with the fluid plan, he was soon able to get his 1 hour swim time. And after 2 months of training, he had his first competition and finished in the top 10. So there's the story. How can we tell this in terms of a flowchart? And so what we're trying to do here with the flowchart is we're trying to tell a storyboard. So we start off with swimming in a pool that is hypertonic to the body, which is going to lead to loss of water and ions to the environment. But we also have the exertion of swimming leading to hypothermia, leading to increased body temperature, which is going to cause us to sweat, which is also going to cause us to lose water and ions to the environment. The combination of the sweat plus the loss of water to the environment due to the osmotic conditions is going to lead to dehydration. That dehydration is lead to ion imbalance. That ion imbalance is going to lead to poor membrane dynamics and the loss of the control of depolarization. So we're not going to be able to regulate and control when muscles are being recruited. That leads to cramping. So the first thing we're going to try to do is we're going to try to pace. And so what's pacing going to do? Well, pacing is going to slow down the exertional heat buildup that's going to take place, which is going to reduce the amount of sweating that's going to take place. And we're able to go a little bit longer, but we're still going to have dehydration taking place. And we're still going to have ion imbalance, and we're still going to have poor membrane dynamics, and we're still going to have a loss of control within the depolarization. And that's all because of a poor water balance strategy. And so what do? Well, we work with the athletic trainer, and we're able to pre-hydrate. And we're able to establish a hydration plan during the workout. And what that does is that allows us to eliminate the poor water balance Combined with the pacing strategy, we're now able to eliminate the cramping from taking place.